Hello, I'm John Dunn with Vanair Manufacturing. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to take a close look at one of our new demonstrator vehicles. We have several of these vehicles running around the country currently. Although this vehicle has a lot of additional equipment representing products from across our entire portfolio, today we're going to take a close look in this video at our new advanced PTO-driven underdeck air compressor system. Now, Vanair is the leader as we were the company that first invented that technology. With the new advanced system, there are many new features that we'll talk about in a minute. But first, let's take a look at the industry that this supports. And I should say industries that it supports. It can be used for traditional excavation work, running jackhammers, rock drills, tampers, as well as air excavation to operate an air knife. It also supports work for the increasingly more popular trenchless technology and trenchless excavation. It can operate moles, pigs, missiles, as well as additional equipment. For larger chassis, it can operate vacuum excavation units, as well as shotcrete trucks and large rock drills. So let's take a look at the benefits of the Vanair PTO underdeck-driven air compressor system. It's typically about half the price, or can be half the price, of a tow-behind air compressor. Additionally, since we take the air compressor and we're moving it underneath, or under the deck, if you will, we are lowering the center of gravity of the vehicle, and additionally, we're freeing up valuable and critical real estate and space in the body or up on top of the side pack. Additionally, there's one less engine to maintain, and it's Tier 4 compliant. It also frees up the hitch, so it allows the truck to be able to tow a trailer or an excavator or another piece of equipment. It makes the truck more maneuverable on the job site, and you'll no longer have to have the truck leave a job site to run back to the equipment yard to pick up a tow-behind compressor. So let's take a closer look at the new features of our advanced system. So what we have here on this Class 5 chassis is our PTO-driven underdeck air compressor system. And as you can see, it's mounted below the frame rail of the truck. This is the air oil separation tank. But we have a sample tank above, and we're going to take a closer view of that so we can talk about it in detail. Let's first take a look at this side. What we have here is an aluminum manifold, and this we have mounted to the tank using O-ring seals, and all of the components that used to be randomly strewn underneath the truck are now neatly housed in this pre-assembled component. The minimum pressure valve, the scavenge line assembly, the blowdown valve, the regulators are included, as well as the transducers. They are all included into this assembly and pre-installed at the Vanair factory. On the oil side of the tank, we have again an aluminum manifold. This is the oil filter housing. It's O-ring sealed to the tank. It includes the connection for the oil filter itself, as well as a built-in thermal valve. It has a provision for our thermistor, and it is pre-assembled at the Vanair factory. And in the center of this pressure vessel is our coalescing element. Now, we've doubled the life of the element. It is now a 6,000 hour element, so it does not need to be changed out for 6,000 hours, which probably equates to about 15 to 16 years of use for a typical utility application. In most cases, you'll retire the truck before that preventive maintenance process ever needs to be done. Okay, while we're looking at the air oil separation sample tank here, we'll talk about 4 new features and options that our engineering team at Vanair came up with while we redesigned our system. The first is called FailSafe. And what we're doing is we use a backup sensor for both the transducers and the thermistors in the system, so that should one sensor go bad, a second sensor is always there ready to take over. This helps maximize the amount of uptime with the system. We filed for a patent on that. It's a relatively low cost option. It's only a few $100s, and it really helps ensure the most amount of uptime with the unit. Additionally, we came up with a feature called Thermal Guard. And you'll see here 2 coolant hoses on this side of the tank, on the air side of the tank. And what we're doing is we're pulling antifreeze from the vehicle engine, and we're running it through ports in the aluminum manifold. And what that does is two things, actually. It helps to prevent from wintertime freeze-ups because it runs right past the regulators and right past the blowdown valve on this air side manifold. And then on the other side, it actually heats up the oil because it runs through an element on this side of the tank. So that while the operator is driving to the job site in the wintertime, the oil is being preheated, ready for them to start the job. Additionally, this also has a patent filed on it as well. And a third option that we've come up with is an ultrasonic oil level sensor. This ensures the highest reliability for reading oil at startup of the unit. And should there be a low oil level situation, it will show up on our new VTEC 2 control. The last thing we're going to take a look at is our fourth option, and that is a remote mount feature for the FailSafe system. But before we go down and take a look at that system, I will show you the thermistor here. Should the equipment or should this system be equipped with FailSafe, there would be a thermistor here, and there would also be a second redundant sensor down on the air end. So this is the remote mount system. And what we've done is we've used a NEMA box or a weatherproof box, and this could be mounted anywhere. Typically in a service body, it would be mounted up in a vertical compartment or perhaps in an underbody box. And what we're doing is we're taking the sensors and moving them out from underneath the truck and putting them into this weather protected box, getting them away from road splash and brine and keeping them clean so that if they ever need to get tested or switched out, they're in a very clean, readily changeable environment. That is the remote mount feature for the FailSafe option. Okay, standard with every new Vanair underdeck system is our new brushless fan motor assembly. It's a solid state design. It has thermal guard protection. It has reverse polarity protection. It also has a feature called stall block protection so that if it senses that it cannot spin because it got jammed with snow or ice or a stick, it'll actually shut itself down. And the fact that it's solid state allows for a 40,000 hour design life. And this is standard with every new Vanair underdeck system. All right, so we'll get ready to start the system up now. With the truck parking brake set, I'll go start the truck and we'll come back and start the system. I'll make sure the parking brake is set first, then it's okay to start the ignition. Now that the truck is running, to start the system, you simply push this start-stop button right here, and that will engage, and you'll hear a very smooth engagement because of the torque management system of the new VTEC 2 controller. This is the dual pressure switch. You won't hear much of a pressure fluctuation there, but when we turn the generator on, you will hear the idle kick up because, again, the generator will take precedent over the engine idle or speed control. Now, to see how the system will vary the engine idle according to air demand, we'll open this up, and on this muffler we're getting a full 160 CFM. So I'll open up the service valve. Again, we're getting a full 160 CFM, and on some chassis it would be 185 CFM. That's plenty to run 2 jackhammers all day long. We can demonstrate how the variable speed control will be variable according to air demand by feathering the valve, and then I can shut this off. Then to stop the system, we would simply just push the start-stop button again, like I'm doing now, and the system will blow down through the blowdown valve. So we're going to take a look at the FailSafe features of our new advanced underdeck PTO-driven air compressor system. Again, this is new technology that's exclusive to Vanair. Our engineering department came up with some simulator switches here that can show or simulate a failure of one of the sensors. In this case, we'll fail the primary temperature or thermistor sensor, and as you can see on our VTEC 2 screen, it shows a failure warning, which is clear, concise, and intuitive, and tells the operator what's going on. However, typically the crew that is running the air equipment or pneumatic tools or jackhammer won't even know that their sensor failed because the secondary sensor seamlessly took over and backed up the first sensor. They won't know until they come back to the truck to turn the unit off, and then they'll see this warning screen here. I can turn that off and clear it by hitting OK, but the system remembers that there's a failure, and your service department can look into the log and actually see any history of failures. In similar fashion, we can fail the pressure transducer. Again, it shows a clear, concise, intuitive message that the transducer has failed. However, the secondary transducer has taken over, and again, the crew that's running their equipment will never know until they actually even come back to the truck to turn the unit off, and then they'll see that they need to change out the sensor or they need to get it into service. Now, they can continue to use the truck the rest of that day, the rest of that week, the rest of the month, but at some point they should probably tell your service department or your maintenance crew or department that the system needs service. That again is the FailSafe feature only available from Vanair, and it's a very relatively low-cost option and provides for the highest amount of uptime in the industry. Well, thank you for spending time with us today to learn about our new advanced PTO-driven air compressor system with its new features and benefits. If you're looking for a new underdeck air system, please use Vanair as your benchmark. Be informed and think to yourself, why would you choose anything less? In the next segment, Donnie Stone will review the above deck equipment that is mounted on each of our demonstration vehicles. Thank you.
Thanks, John. I am Donnie Stone, Sales Support and Training Manager here at Vanair Manufacturing. Now we're going to cover the above deck product line on our demo truck here, one of many. First product we're going to talk about is going to be the Viper Diesel. So this is a water-cooled 3-cylinder diesel engine, direct driving a rotary screw encapsulated air end by Vanair. The model that we've got on here is an 80 CFM 100 PSI unit. Markets that this product would typically serve would be monument engravers, irrigation blowouts, telecom, underground utility work, running piercing tools. This will power a 90-pound jackhammer or breaker, 1.5 inch impacts, things of that nature. A very unique feature that we have on this product is going to be our auto start-stop features, as well as our variable outputs, 100% variable throttle control on this package, giving us multiple different outputs off of a single package. So at idle, this particular product is going to produce 48 CFM. As load increases, it's going to go up to a constant, continuous 80 CFM, 100 PSI output. So very unique feature. We also offer this in a 60 CFM, 150 PSI product that's going to produce that 37 CFM at idle. Then for guys looking for just a little bit more pressure or maybe running at a little higher elevation, we do offer a 70 at 125 PSI model. So first we can pop this open, kind of give you a sneak peek of what's on the inside of this particular package here. You can kind of see that Kubota diesel, our throttle control system, running our Vanair encapsulated air end in this product. Well, the model that we have on this particular demo truck is a diesel-driven unit. They do have their own integrated fuel system and battery. We do offer these in versions that pull chassis-supplied fuel as well. Or if you didn't need a diesel piece of equipment, we do offer this in a gas fuel-injected version as well. Here we have the Goodall Capstart 3000. This particular product is a self-contained, engine-driven, dedicated piece of equipment specializing in jump starting and engine starting of heavy equipment out there. This particular unit is going to produce up to 3,240 amps. It's going to put that out over a 10-second cranking cycle period, be recharged and ready to go in a matter of seconds to continue that process, starting one vehicle after another using supercapacitor technology, patented technology from our charging circuits and such that we've developed. So many patented system here. Particular product is available in both a 12 or 12 and 24 volt system. We also have an integrated charging circuit, so if you just needed to charge batteries, charge a downed vehicle, get that system up and going, we can do that as well. The system is only going to produce the power that the piece of equipment is going to require for the cranking cycle. So this particular package here, again, up to 3,240 amps. So this is starting Class 8 trucks. It could start all the way down to passenger vehicles, pickups, and cars, and things of that nature. Markets that this particular product is going to be ideal for is going to be auction yards, heavy equipment yards, anywhere that you have a large amount of equipment on site, be it fleet yards, OEM body manufacturers, things of that nature, anywhere where you have the requirement to get vehicles up and going quickly. People that are running, or technicians that are running dedicated engine starting services, going around starting tractors at rest stops, things of that nature, bus yards and so forth. Other applications are going to be LTL or refrigerated freight carriers, keeping those tractor rigs moving, keeping the economy going. Mines, obviously those guys are both underground or above ground. They may be running very, very large equipment. This system is very capable of starting large off-road diesel engines as well. Along with the version that you see here, again being that self-contained package, this is going to include 30-foot 3/0 polar graded cables for engine starting purposes. But we also have its big brother available to you as well if you had a need for compressed air. So it's going to use a fuel-injected engine, V-twin, and it's going to incorporate a 2-stage reciprocating compressor as well. More of an integrated product with that dedicated service truck. Now we're going to go ahead and move up on top deck of this the truck, and we're going to talk about our RC40 reciprocating compressor. Up top here on our demo truck, we have our RC40 Light. This is one of our newer offerings in our reciprocating hydraulic driven compressor line. This is a 2-stage compressor as well, so it's going to run that 175 PSI output that you're looking for. In a lightweight package, just over 200 pounds, giving us 40 CFM of true air output. This is hydraulic driven again, so this is primarily used on those any truck that's got a wet kit or a hydraulic system already installed onto it. Primarily focused with our mechanic service trucks, crane trucks, tire trucks is a great item solution for those tire guys looking for the ability to run their 1-inch impact for the duration of their jobs out there in the field. All right, so this package itself, as we see here, we've got a posable block-off plate that can be moved from one side to the other. Lid can be rotated one side or the other. So depending upon where the need is or where it's going to be installed on the truck, makes it a great solution for the upfitter. Gives them the ability to reposition as needed. It is available as a standard 12 or 24 volt system. We do offer it in an open or closed hydraulic system setup, as well as we do offer this with a cold weather provision or integrated cold weather option for these packages. It's going to consist of a hydraulic thermal valve, allowing our system to be engaged and operate 100% output right out of the gate. There's no delay, no time waited for a system to be warmed up. What we are doing is taking the approach of allowing the system to operate as needed, and once temperatures begin to rise, then we allow hydraulic fluid to enter the integrated hydraulic cooler built into our package. So a little different approach than what other products are out there doing for you. Along with the analog gauges that are shown on this particular package, it is available in a digital output as well. So again, can be mounted either side with the digital configurations. You're able to remote mount those controls as well. Now we'll get down off the truck here and we'll step around and cover the last piece of equipment that's on this particular demo truck, the Aeronautic 300 diesel. The last system that's on this particular demo truck is going to be our Aeronautic 300 diesel. And as you can see here, this particular one is our all-inclusive package, kind of started the movement of all-in-one power systems. So this particular unit, again, being that water-cooled diesel engine in here, we're able to pop this open, give you kind of a view of what's going on inside here. So single drive, multiple driven components in here, giving you a welder, AC generator, encapsulated rotary screw compressor, amongst other things. This particular package is available in the offering in the i300, where we can give you hydraulic output as well. So again, first in the industry to be doing multiple driven components off of a single drive, and the first in the industry to be giving you a true system that incorporates a welder hydraulic pump, so that's 6 forms of power out of a single piece of equipment. We're the first in the industry to be producing a true two generator system. So we have a separate isolated AC generator from a DC weld generator, allowing for means of safe multifunction use, as well as giving the operator the ability to multifunction, meaning he can run his generator and welder simultaneously without concerns of one giving less than the other. This particular package does have a remote panel configuration that we do see here. It can be either mounted directly on the end of the machine, or it can be remote mounted in a side compartment. Piece of equipment could be in the load space or up on the side pack of the truck. This gives the operator complete control over the machine out of a single control panel. There's not multiple control panels that have to be installed. And it does give him multiple air option output. So on this particular control panel, we do have 2 locations to pull air from. We do have 1 location at the machine, so they do have 3 different locations to pull air for their needs, whether it be hose reels, regulated and non-regulated air. System's going to produce 40 CFM, 150 PSI constant for them, and can run up to 175 PSI if needed. Now, along with the diesel-driven product that we have here, we do also offer this in a fuel-injected gas version. We offer it in a hydraulic-driven. And then we step down into other categories as well. So we have our i300 being the flagship of this product line. That's going to be an all-inclusive product that charges and maintains chassis for you. It's going to give you hydraulic output. They're going to have battery boost, battery charge, 12 and 24 volt systems integrated. We do have integrated air tanks into these packages, something that's very unique to us compared to what our competitors run out there. We do step these down into the next categories as well. So the Aeronautic 250 is going to be a reciprocating compressor versus the rotary screw. It is going to give us the unique features that we have in this particular product as well. And then we can step down even farther. We can get into our Aeronautic 150 product line. So we have that in a gas and diesel version as well. And they're going to be single and 2-stage reciprocating compressors, just dependent upon what unique configuration you're looking for. Multiple different platform configurations, different air tank options, and so forth. So a solution that fits your need for your customer. And these are primarily utilized on your mechanics crane trucks, your service rigs, tire trucks. We have versions that don't have the weld side, so our PowerFlex line. We utilize a lot of these in the oil fields, so forth. Everything giving the operator a shop-in-a-box approach, if you would. So everything that they would need in one piece of equipment. Only requiring them to maintain a single engine, possibly a compressor option. So just dependent upon what they're looking for, we have the means to power their work site with their crews, whether it be single or multi-person operation setups. Now, thank you for joining us for this quick walk around talking about just a few of many of the product offerings Vanair Mobile Power has for you. Keep your eyes out for a demo truck running through your local towns and cities, as we have many of these across the U.S., North America. If you need a demo presentation or would like to schedule one, feel free to reach out to us at 800-526-8817. Thank you.